Hey there, Tracy here again. Welcome to our October 2025 Inspiration Giveaway Hop. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a fun little gift tag and show you just a few samples of some shaped gift tags. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. All right, so hey there, welcome to our hop. For today's video, I'm going to be using the October Paper Pad Club Blue Christmas. I'm going to be using the stamp of the month, and I will have everything listed down below. I'm going to use a couple of circle dies, and I'm going to get out a few shape dies too, and I'm going to use a little star, and then I might be using some of the ephemera as well. So I'm going to grab the paper, and this is a great way that you can use both sides of the paper. And I'm going to select a paper from this paper pad. I really like those marshmallows. I'm leaning towards those. I love the sweater. Just beautiful, beautiful papers, as always. Knocked it out of the park. Not too shabby shop. Beautiful glittery. We've got some snowflakes and books. But, yep, I'm going to settle with the marshmallows because I'm going to be using the hot cocoa stamp. So there, I'm sure, coordinating dies for the stamps, the postage stamps from Not Too Shabby. I'll get that spit out, but I don't have them, so I'm going to do my own thing here. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to score this paper right down the middle at the 3-inch mark, and I can get 2 tags out of this. 1, 3, I want to say it's 3 1/4 or 3, and one a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to burnish that down really well, and I'm going to grab my larger of the 2 dies. I'm going to lay it on here, and I want to tape it on there so that part of the blade is stuck over the top, so it won't cut that part. And that's going to be our fold. And I will use some tape to kind of tape this down. I don't want it to move on me and wreck my fold. And then I'll just pull out my little die cut machine and run that through. And I'm going to run it forwards and backwards, and that's another good reason to tape it so that your die doesn't move. And let's get the machine out of the way here for a minute and get this poked out, and it cut through just perfectly. And so now I have a little miniature circle card, which is going to serve as a gift tag. And you can put these on a wine bottle or on a gift or a bag of candy or whatever. Now I'm going to take and eyeball the center, and I'm going to poke a hole in the top. Just like so. Because I need to be able to tie that onto something. And now I'm going to take the smaller of the 2 circles, and I'm going to cut myself a little layer for the inside of the card. I'm going to do that just out of some white paper. And this little trimmer won't handle a 4 1/4 piece of paper, so I'm just going to trim that off. And we'll get that cut out. And I'm still going to add a little bit of tape because I also want to cut my little stars, and I need 2 of those. Now I'm trying to decide which paper I want to use. This is from the special delivery paper pad. It's just some scraps I had laying aside, so I thought, let's use up those scraps. And get you on there. We'll cut both of those at the same time. Typically, I won't die cut on camera because I have to go over to my Vagabond, but since these are small enough, I can sit here right at my desk and cut everything out that I need. I need 2 matching. Your back layer or your small little accent piece does need to be the same shape. Well, it doesn't necessarily, and you'll see that in the samples, but it pretty much needs to be the same shape. So we've got those cut out. And then what I'm going to need is I'm going to glue this little white piece, so there you can write a personal message inside, just to the inside of this little circle. And it's okay if it goes over the hole a little bit. We just need enough hole to get our string through. And I shouldn't have glued that on yet. I took it back off because I need to attach my little dangly bit. As we're going to call these, just dangly bits, just an extra added something. So I'm going to cut a piece of string here, and I'm going to lay it down so it comes through the center there. And my paper's sticky because I already had glue on it. Now I'm going to glue this down. And I'm going to glue it right over top of that string. Now you want to, be mindful of the thickness of your string when you're doing this. But I do want to make sure that it stays nice and secure. So I've got that glued down. Now I'm going to take my little stars here. Just making sure that's good and stuck. Looking for my tweezers. There they are. And I'm going to add liquid glue here, and I'm going to lay my string down. And, you could use your tape runner too, but you do want to glue the two pieces together. So I'm just going to lay my string down and make sure that it's centered there. And then I'll take the top layer and layer it over the top, and then just glue it down. Now, if your string is really thick, your edges won't perfectly meet up because, it's bending your paper a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's still really cute. So I'm just trying to get those edges of that star and get it good and pressed down. Just pressing down. And I'm just going to throw a little magnet on there for a minute and let that dry. Now I'm going to stamp my stamp. So I'm going to use the hot cocoa. I love that. Hot cocoa one is my favorite one. Just so cute. And that's kind of why I picked the marshmallows. I'm just going to grab a scrap of white paper. I'm going to lay my stamp down on my mat here and just give it a little rub with my finger to kind of condition it. And then I'm going to use some VersaFine Clair, and I want to say I'm using Arctic. Well, we'll see that in a minute. Testing it first. Yep, Arctic is the one. I want to make sure that it coordinates. I'll stamp that down, and I'll stamp it a couple of times because, again, it is a brand new stamp, and I want this nice and dark. And you could emboss this. You could do anything you wanted with it. Everything that I want to show you is all just a starting point, and you can go from there and go crazy. Have fun. The whole point of it, and I love it, I hear designers saying all the time, I had so much fun, I had so much fun. We're just a bunch of big kids, aren't we? Playing with toys. So I'm going to find a circle die that kind of will fit all the way around that little stamp. And then that's where I was talking about, I don't know if there's a postage stamp that fits it. And I'm going to use this die right here. And these are just dies from my stash, various kits and things like that. I pulled out a bunch. And I'm going to grab I think I'm going to grab gold vellum. And I think I'm going to stick with gold vellum. I first think I'm going to use blue, but it's too purpley. So let's see, there's a piece of gold. And then I'm just going to trim that off because I want these to fit into my machine. So I'll grab my little machine again. And then I will use some tape around this die because I want it to not move and I want it to be as straight as possible. I feel like I can't always get everything straight, almost never. That was a lot of words, huh? That's okay. So I'll run this piece through. I decided I can't fit both pieces through. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut out my little piece of gold vellum. And then we can finish putting this together. So this is a giveaway hop. The hop playlist is listed down below, as well as the link to the giveaway form. So you can fill out that form on each stop in the hop. So make sure you stop by, everyone, and show everyone some love. So I'm going to pop the hot cocoa up, but I also, I want to kind of have it toasted marshmallowy, like the marshmallows on the on the little card. Words. I'm just going to use my small little dome foam tool. And I'm going to throw some cookie dough all the way around here so it kind of has that toasted marshmallow look. Then I'm going to stick this straight down to the vellum, and I'm going to use a tape runner for that so it doesn't crinkle up my vellum. And then I'll pop up the whole thing. Now on some of the samples I pop it up twice, so I pop up the sentiment or the piece of ephemera and I pop up the vellum. But this one I'm just popping up the vellum because I've already got the fancy schmancy little scalloped edge there. So I just put the tape behind so you can't see it. And I am going to add a little liquid glue so that I can make sure I get this down straight, because this tape likes to stick when you touch it down. We'll just get that down there nice and straight. Now all that's left to do is add the string, and I'm going to add a pretty long piece of string so that, you know, depending on what the person wants to wrap it around, they'll have plenty of string to work with. And I'm just going to do a little half hitch loop there through there. And I'm thinking I'll tie a bow, and then I change my mind, decide to just leave it long. So you could put a bow in it, put whatever you want, put 8 strings if you want. You know, have fun with it. And that side is blank. You could decorate that as well. But there's our tag. So here are some samples. So here's the larger circle that you saw me make on camera. It's got a little dangly star, and then an inside where you can write your personal message. And then I used some of the ephemera from the Blue Christmas ephemera pack, and you can see there I did double that one up. And see, I used the ephemera, little snowflake ephemera as well from the pack. And they don't match perfectly, but they're still cute. And what I did was I popped those up as well. So, and then I did the little cat from the ephemera kit and different color string, and I made a little button because he's on a pillow, and I thought that'd be fun. Again, from that ephemera pack. And then this one is the little cookie jar, so I did used my circle punch to punch that little circle of my dangly bit, and I used some flat ribbon for that. And again, I popped that one up with some foam tape. And then finally the little star. And that kind of looks like a little tea bag, and then that uses the stamp set again. And this is the Merry Mail stamp set. Yay, I got the name of it. So I hope you liked the video, and if you do, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you do, hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. And here are some still photos. And you'll see up on the screen, at the end screen, the next video pop up. And I hope you'll watch. Stick around. Take care. Bye-bye.